Alright. Looks like it's working. Cool. Sorry, give me a second. Clicking on this over here so I can see the chat.
The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax. The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax. The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax.
Let me make sure my internet connection's good here. Because I believe it is, but we gotta see just real quick. Let's see. Because I know I definitely want to find, I don't know which one's which. I don't know which one's which. Give me 1 second. I don't know how to test this either. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so it's this one. It's just regular intro. All right, cool. All right, so we'll do this now. We'll wait for some people to show up. Oops. Whoops. Come on now. The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax. The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax. The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax. The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax. The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax. The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax. The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax. The stream is coming back, grab your brush and just relax. The stream is coming back, grab I realized that was muted the whole time. That's really cool. Oh, and I forgot. Okay, you know what? You can tell it's been a long day. Hold on. How funny. Where are we with this? Okay. We'll change this real quick. Look, it's like I was prepared. Man, my allergies are so bad, I'm about to lose my voice completely. What's interesting, too, is I was wondering why... See, I don't know if this is playing anything. It's very, very strange how this is going on. But anyway, alright. I'll figure that out later. But until then, today we're going to be working on a Hero Forge Orc dude, sort of. A little bit different. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it sounds like that was not playing. I was trying to play something while that was going on, but okay. So. Sorry about that for the seasick out there. Make sure we're good and crispy.
and I am so encroached by all this paint. Hold on. Not sure exactly what I need. I did go back and look at essentially the like notes or whatever that I had for this commission. So I do know at least the colors I'm going to be looking for. All right, there we go. What's going on, guys? I feel like my color level is a little bit weird here. So hold on. It was funny because I went back into OBS today, and everything was different. It like reset all my camera settings. You know, they released an update and it just completely knocked it all out. Okay, so what I need to do here. Okay, we're still okay. I need to decrease or increase the warmth on the image. Not like that. I wonder if it's Here we go. I'm thinking that's probably better. Put it next to my hand. Here we go. There we go. That's what we're gonna rock with. Alright, sorry about that as I'm playing the painting settings game. Alright, so the armor is supposed to be old and red. Kind of like dried blued or something. Sort of what the description was saying. I'm wondering if this is the light that's killing me here. Alright, so I don't know if I even need that on my head. Okay, so we're just gonna crank this light back up then. I don't have my usual light set up right now currently, which is really fun. But alright, we're gonna make this work. Colors are gonna look weird, I don't know. I really wasn't even gonna stream today, but I decided, as a man of the people, I would show up. Do let me know if anything's not working too, if you can, that would be great. Oop. Well, I'll just go ahead and throw the brush I was about to use on the ground. Looks like everything's working. Shout out to everybody watching anywhere. Alright, cool. I like how I get to have the red marks on my head. Hey Brian, how's it going, man? Yeah, so you just kind of get a strange extra stream today. Or not even extra. I mean, you get one, first one in a while. But, so this is going to be a relatively easy paint job. I was wearing that mag visor earlier because I finally got a replacement lens for the 1.5, which is the only size that I use. Ryan, so if you're going to do anything with Hero Forge, you need to get the premium, otherwise it's trash. And even then I wouldn't do that. I would download the STL file and then send it to the people over at like Impact Miniatures. You'll get like a real miniature. Not that this is bad. I mean, I'll be able to paint this just fine, but like, you know, you can see obviously print levels, and on the underside you'll get all of like the little whatever pillars and everything that get broken off. So it's not the best, but it's okay. Like you can see right here were some supports that were cut off, and it sort of changed the shape of the axe, but it works okay. I would just always suggest people do the a little bit more finished version. Sorry about that, seasick. Wanted to be able to back out a little bit. Can't even see where I'm working. There we go. So this is the color I've got going currently. It's kind of like a nasty, muddy red. Yeah, no, Ryan, the standard I just would never touch. They're just not really worth the time and investment. Okay, so it is bothering me though about this white balance deal we got going on here, so there we go. It's a little bit better. Yeah, we want that. That's cool. Wait, let me make sure that's as good as it'll get. I don't know why it's like coming out so blue. I'm wondering if it's because it's the different light that I'm using. This looks pretty good actually. Fair enough. So we'll rock out with sort of the standard here. All right, so this isn't as dark as I want, so I'll probably just add some black, to be honest with you. I was playing around with a cab yesterday, doing sort of just some test work. This is one of my like extra 5. Definitely was not happy with it though, so we're gonna have to change that up. Let me check one more thing here. I think I know one more trick. That's what I thought. Okay. How do I reset it? Okay. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's not gonna do anything, I don't think. Oh well. I do have one more trick. I might be able to fix it through Legato. I don't remember, because every single thing has been reset. Oh, and Elgato also updated their driver since the last like 2 weeks that I've streamed, so everything's sort of completely out of whack. So let me have this bad boy open up. Okay, so can I please adjust the camera? Okay. Oh. Looks like that does nothing, so. Huh, yeah, I wonder what our difference is. Oh, and look at that. It completely shot the camera. Okay, we're back. Still looking awfully blue. Feeling really weird, actually. I'm so confused, camera. I wish I could actually see what was happening here. Okay, so if I can look right here. Duh. Dummy alert. There we are. Okay, so we're not perfect yet. This is pretty good right here, actually. There we go. All right, fixed. It only took us this many days. Okay, cool. Let's knock this mini out now that we're done playing around. So, obviously, it has been quite some time since I've seen you. I'm not really sorry for it. Those of you that care probably have already been talking to me one way or another. But we had a lot of stuff A lot of stuff finish up, a lot of stuff go down. Obviously, we had the awesome painting workshop. Shout out to everybody that made their way to the workshop and had a great time. If you didn't make it, well, sucks to be you, because it really was crazy. So, but for those that are interested at, you know, sort of how the whole thing went, I got there right around 2 o'clock or so at the Airbnb, which turned out to be perfect. So I got there right around 2-ish. People, like, we weren't really going to start until around 4:30. James from Tulsa came into town. James and I are good friends. He actually is the guy that convinced me to get into Cav, and that's why I had, you know, magically all that stuff show up from Talon Games. By the way, definitely go check out Talon Games. I already bought more Cav stuff, and I haven't even painted or played any of my own, so that should tell you pretty much how excited I am to have it. But, there we go. So, anyway, he showed up. He was there early. I'm trying to think who came next. I believe maybe Darren came. Maybe not. I think Frank was second, actually. Frank came up from Dallas. And then we had Peter. Poor Peter, of course. You guys have seen him a million times in the chat. Peter's flight was delayed out of Dallas, so that took him a while to get here. Then we had Jason come from California. And then we had Darren and his wife come down, I believe, from Michigan, Illinois area. Gosh, I should probably remember that, but it was a busy weekend. Then we had Brian from Kansas and James, right? Another James? I think we had 2 James from Oklahoma City. And then we had Ann also, who was from here. I think that was it. I think I named everybody. Hold on. I'm going around the table in my head. So it was Peter in front of me, then Jason, then Ann, then Brian, then Darren, James, Frank. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that was everybody. But, so everybody got there, we worked on our palettes, and then after that we went out to eat, came back, worked a little bit more. Well, really we sort of started, like, we sat around and talked for a long time. And then next day we did all of our work on miniatures, so I got to do a little bit of painting Saturday night, and that was it. It was really cool. Everybody enjoyed themselves, pretty sure. Pretty sure. Everybody said they did, so. But it was very personalized, like tailored instruction. All hands-on, one-on-one. So you can see I'm taking advantage of the Zenithal Prime underneath, because it looks, you can actually see the highlights still coming through on the armor where it was applied. Oh, hey, Brian. Yeah, that was Frank. Oh, wait, there was a guy from Texas in between Jason and Ann. No, that dude, no. He was from Oklahoma City, or Edmond. He was local. The guy kept hitting his head, who I believe is James. I believe. I could be wrong. I hope not. Frank was from Dallas, though. Frank was great. He helped me pack everything up. Helped carry some stuff out after everybody was gone. The next day. And then they didn't charge us any penalty fees or anything, so I guess the little bit of paint we left behind wasn't that big of a deal. Even though I'm sure they were confused at the lighting situation. Whoop. Because boy oh boy did we literally change the lights in their entire place. But yeah, so anyway, big thank you to Reaper, of course, for providing all of the paint and all of the miniatures and all of the brushes for all of the attendees. We all found out that rust brown is like the best color on the planet, so. So yeah, he said the armor used to be bright red, but now it's not because it's old, so it's like dried blood or whatever. And he said the helmet is steel, but it's only the front plating, so the rest of the helmet is also going to be this blood red armor, which is cool because I'm just going to do like a really sort of dull non-metallic metal effect on it, so it'll still look like some type of surface with a potential sheen to it, but nothing too insane. But yeah, so, what else do we have going on? What else has happened in my life since you guys have seen me besides lots of stress, sleepless nights, and, you know, all that good stuff? So, let me think. So, the good old folks over at War Cradle, we finally figured out where all of our miscommunication came from, so they're going to be sending me 2 army boxes in the mail. So you will see me painting on that, having a good time. Let me share this out because we have a abnormally low amount of people watching. I'll drop it in the Painting Happy Little Minis group and the D&D group probably. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I gotta get something for my nose, man. I cannot breathe at all. Okay, so we got Painting Happy Little Minis. Post. So yeah, they're going to be sending me the Secret Service Posse, which is an army that is run by Abraham Lincoln, wielding a crazy, like, steam-powered electric axe. And then they're sending me the Nation, I forget what it's called, but it's like the Native Americans. That one, I'm a little bit... I'm going to plan on that one a little bit more to make it as real as possible. Because, like, a lot, like... The company that wasn't War Cradle, so whoever owned Wild West Exodus to begin with, like, they didn't know any of the context of, like, the Civil War, really, that they were talking about. And so they have, like, Confederate units, and then, like, the Confederacy was its own faction, and, like, you know, they're making, like, Confederate heroes and da-da-da-da. And then they have, like, these Native Americans that are just sort of very generic or, like, sexualized women. And so... they didn't they obviously didn't understand the context, especially if you're from the South or if you're from Oklahoma, right? Because we have like the largest native population. And so I'm gonna find someone, because I have a lot of native friends, so I'm gonna find someone who can tell me like specifically or show me imagery, right, of like correct clothing patterns, correct correct paint or feathers or whatever, because I don't want to end up painting them in a disrespectful way, right? If the miniature is already potentially disrespectful, if that makes sense. So I'm looking at it as more of like a potential to do something good in that regard, rather than some people, you know, I don't want to be like the chick at a music fest wearing a headdress. Like, that's already whack enough. So, but they're gonna be sending me both of those, and then of course the guys from Cav also sent. Honestly, like, I could play lots of games with the stuff they sent me, because they ended up sending like one mini that's like 1,200 points a piece, and most games are 2,500, I think, according to what my buddy James was saying. So, I mean, I can play an insane amount of games, which is cool. All right, so you can see the Zenny Prime coming through on this guy right here. We have nice little edge work and highlights sort of baked in. For the shield, let me read my notes here on the shield. Hey Peter, good to see you, dude. Okay, His plate armor was once bright and beautiful red, but now has mostly faded to the color of dried blood. The exception to this is his visor, which is the color of steel. His eyes have similarly changed. Once were cold blue, is now changed into a fire and glowing red, glowing from within with one to the left of his face. His cape is once powerful blue, now tattered with some of the spines of the dead. The dragon's breath together the knife and multiple huge on his chest. Even in this place, there's no corruption. His murder spikes still evidence out of the dread, the action of the shield, the cure similar to corrupted, and started to show symptoms, so to speak. For the shield, it means the spikes have started to grow. And like with the spikes in the armor, these are also stem from darkness and undeath. The shield itself was once the color of steel, but has seen many battles and is now starting to lose its shine. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that speed reading. Wait, what does this say? Every opening in his armor shows only darkness inside, and in some places, like the hole in his chest, it is possible to see fire smoldering. Well, we don't really have an opportunity to show that, so instead we're just going to make it look nice. So, the shield once was steel, and then the spikes are like darkness. So, we need a dark blue is what we need. We need to get a nice, dingy, bingy, radical fratical. I'm going to go with this Twilight blue. We're going to dim it down and call it Team Edward. Let's see what else we got going on in here. We got Victor. Victor. Oh, that's hilarious that I just read that for you. How are we looking today, by the way? On the stream. Let me check my stats, boy. Oh my god, we're doing great. Knock on wood. All right. What's up, Josh? How's it going, dude? Hope you're feeling good. Okay. So I need a nice steely bleh for my base. We want it to be glazy, like the good old GW contrast paints. Dude, I got in so many internet arguments with people. Oh god, man. All the people talking about paint. It's so funny. Damien, yeah, so I did, competitive debate paid for my college, and one of the tricks to competitive debate is that you can't make an argument without evidence, and to make an argument with evidence, you have to read the evidence out loud. So the faster and clearer you read out loud, the more evidence you can drop in an argument. So usually these people speak at about 700 words per minute. So, all right, let's do it. So I'm really just trying to coat this so that I can see the goods underneath still. And it looks like this application will be great. I can tell already. Shout out to everybody that was at the atelier, because they all know now exactly what my paint's doing. I think that's actually the coolest thing, because I haven't streamed since that painting event. And so I'm sure it's like different now for everybody that's watching, who's watching. So Peter, I'm sure it's probably funny watching me do this now, because he's like, yeah, I know exactly what his paint is doing. It was great, man. You know, the same thing that I did at ReaperCon, which we're about to talk about, I did at this thing. So like walking around and touching people's paint, physically making sure they have the correct consistency, things like that. Like unless someone does that for you, like, how would you ever really know for sure that your paint is exactly what I'm talking about? And then I think too, making people practice on the power-up palettes in person was huge, because a lot of them didn't even realize the way that I was trying to get them to paint until they started working on the palette, and they're like, oh, this is like way different than what I thought was going on. So, unless you're somebody like Peter, then he knew exactly in his life what we were going to be working on, and it was crazy. I mean, honestly, Peter, in terms of improvement, insane. His work was really just jumped completely in terms of like cleanliness and control, which is really, really cool. And then other people got a lot out of it with like using color. Darren really leveled up on being able to like push his highlight as close as possible on certain edges and things like that. So Frank did it was so funny. Frank was like, well, I have to paint this pig, because he was painting a miniature with a pig. And he's like, I don't know how to do that, or like, I don't want to make it pink. And so I made him use like 5 colors on this little pig. And he fought it the entire time. And then at the very end, he was like, okay, it looks good. Trying to think what else went down. Brian did some awesome non-metallic metal work. It was funny too, because I'm pretty sure he like looked at me. He like gave, I forget what I said. I was like, I want green armor, but I need, you know, because he painted the Revenant miniature from Reaper. And so I'm like, I need green armor in some way, like green tint. And then for the skin, I need like bright peach skin and da-da-da-da. And he was kind of looking at me crazy. And then by the time he was done, he was like, okay. Like I could tell he was super confident about it. And it looked killer. It looked so cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna go really dark with this brown. I'm gonna mix in some more green on the cape just to get some color on it, but I just want it to be super dark for now. I don't really care. We're gonna change it, I'm sure, but I just don't want to stare at that color gradient because it's gonna mess with my contrast. So, we have more exciting news. Good news, everyone. Okay, anyway, so ReaperCon, your boy is back. I was on that big old email invite, figured out my classes, bada bing, bada boom. I will see you soon if you're coming this year. Your boy is going to be teaching 5 classes. One of the classes I am not talking about yet because it is a surprise with another super cool artist. If you were at the painting atelier, you already know what I'm talking about, so please do not spill the beans in chat. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome on that class. And then I am doing one deep dive into using a Zenithal Prime. So the focus on this is not just hitting something with white from above, but me showing them how it's actually a technique that you should be using color and not just white. So that's going to be a really awesome session, and it's only one of those. I'm only doing one of those, and then I'm doing 3 demonstrations where I'm essentially going to be showing people how to layer their paints correctly, yada yada yada, and then I'm giving everybody in there a free power-up control palette, which are worth $25 anyway, so they're getting double their money if it's a $20 ticket. So, and those classes are all going to be small. Last year, I did 5 classes, every single class, except for one was the max class size of 14. This year, I'm only doing 8, so you better slam on those tickets as fast as you can. Oh, and then all day Sunday at ReaperCon this year as well, I'm doing a class. That's how I'm approaching it. But it is a one-on-one, or however many people are there, come and go open air painting clinic, and I'll be available all day long in the main painting hall to help people do and figure out whatever it is they would like help with. And I'm going to be inviting other artists and painters too. I know that Shoshi Bauer from Shoshi's Minis, she's going to be joining me. I would like to be grabbing some other vendors, like I want Mark there from Frozen Ninja. I might try and get Brian there from Midnight Heroes. Ooh, I hope that's right. Sorry. But either way, he's like the chibi guy, makes a bunch of chibi minis. So I'm going to try and get some other people to just come and hang out and just have a good time and essentially do what the artists don't get to do when you're at ReaperCon, which is like, because if you're on Artist Alley the whole time, you don't really get to experience the like camaraderie that happens on the other parts of the convention floor, because there are like hundreds of these huge tables with lights on that you can paint on, which is amazing. And people just sit together and paint and talk. But if you're an artist and you're not teaching a class, you sort of feel obligated, right, to sit on Artist Alley, which is where everybody just sort of sits if you're an artist and you have a workspace. But I'm going to be bouncing out of there. We're going to be holding court and painting all day long. So definitely excited. So anyway, ReaperCon 2019, I'll be there. It is literally the last weekend in August. So, but you can look on my page. I have the post info up there. What else is going on? What else is going on? Oh, so I was just too busy with the painting workshop, but Breachstorm has a Kickstarter live right now. They have a new faction available, so definitely go check that out. Remember, you can just type in Breachstorm the game here on Facebook, and you'll be able to find all the information you need about them. They sent me a mini. I just haven't had time to put it together, but it was a big like commander mini or some kind of weird like alien from the Kickstarter currently. So if sci-fi games are your jam, and now what they sent me was metal. I don't know if it's going to remain metal or if that was just like a thing, but remember the starter sets that they sent me were a beautiful resin. One of them was like light blue. The other one was like mini painting studio pink, like totally rad. So if that's your jam, keep that in mind. Remember, that is Breachstorm the game. So you can see right now I'm already baking in some of the scratches we're going to have in the shield. I'm going to be highlighting over most of them, but I'm sort of denoting where I want them all. Alright, so they're not going to be that thick, obviously, whenever I start applying some more layers. Alright, so that's good. The helmet up top, I like that contrast, but I need the eyes to be a little bit darker, so we're just gonna dorken that a little bit right there, like right up underneath. There you go. The skin for now, this guy's like undead, technically, I guess, but I'm just gonna kind of wash it in because I can highlight it anything else we want later. So I'm just gonna kind of tint that down. He was killed in a like gigantic, insane gold dragon breath attack, so he's definitely burnt to a crispo. Here you can see I'm just applying that same color very thin. This on there as well, and then the handle of the axe, he said, was wood, but is now charred from the flames. So we're just going to darken this up all crazy, and I'll highlight it. And then Victor, if you are still watching, he is not in the United States, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, I don't know what time it is for you, but I saw you in the chat. So shout out to him for watching if it's past his bedtime. Hopefully it's not too crazy. Alright, I think base color-wise, we are pretty much good. And it got super dark in here. Woo! We are back at it. Let me crank this soldier boy. There we go. What other news do we have? I'm trying to think. A lot has happened. Obviously, the big Kingdom Death Commission's done. Earlier today, we got the Scythe Commission finished as well. I'm just waiting to be paid so I can go ship it. It is a bit late, but I'm still watching. There he is. And then we got Victor's dude here. And then I'm probably going to finish up Paul's miniature, the dog, either tonight or tomorrow. Then we are doing a Scythe set and a Gloomhaven set. And then we're moving on to some of the bigger gigs that I have left over. So we've got that huge RPG commission. We've got Massive Darkness. We've got some Warhammer stuff, and then I just need to look at my schedule. I've been pulling like back-to-back insane hours since the painting workshop, so I just need to chill for a minute and reevaluate some things. But since I had a deadline yesterday for today, I haven't had time to do much. So the cape, he wasn't too sure about currently. Initially, possibly blue, but I think he is correct. He was worried that it may clash with the colors, and I think that's pretty much spot on, because if you're doing red, if we look at our periodic table of painting here, so if we look at our reds and we look at what colors would be our complementary colors for that on the color wheel, it's obviously going to be greens. So if we're going very dark red, which would be over in this sector, most of our colors, I'm thinking we're going to go for this sort of like greenish ochre tone for the cloak. And then that way I can hit it with a red pigment powder on the bottom for dust, and it should give us lots of good contrast. So I think that works much better than trying to do blue. I think the blue would just be a little bit too overpowering. All right, so here we are in our muddiest of muddy stages. What should we begin highlighting up? I'm thinking the armor. Wow, I like how this just like destroyed. Do I even need this? Hold on. We'll just crank that up, I guess. Didn't help. Alright, well, either way. I need to fix this light. I have a totally different light next to me that's freaking me out. So I was going to try and use this to start highlighting. I think that's not even cool enough in terms of like, look at me, give me a present. So we're going to bust out more Cavalry Brown. I think that's the direction we're start going in, but very gently so, of course. Man, it was so funny. They deleted my album in the Scythe group today. Gotta love it. People delete your stuff. People that play that game, no offense, but they are a certain type. Actually, yeah, offense intended. Yeah, for sure. I've had enough Scythe-specific clients to know the type of person that plays that game, so... Oh, yeah, sorry anyone that's been watching on Twitch or YouTube. Sorry, let me be a nice boy. Hop over here. Shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Twitch. Remember, I am streaming for those watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitch as well in a higher resolution. So if you want to see things a little bit crispier, a little bit spicier, head on over. Monitoring all three chats can be a little bit confusing, but your boy does his best. Alright, so I'm digging the color transition on that. It's very subtle, but it's exactly the direction we're supposed to be heading for dingy, dirty red armor. I feel like this dude is gonna look cartoony in a good way, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, no one ever in the history of anything's walking around in like one colored armor, right? So that's why I feel like it'll be a little cartoony. More illustrative, but it's gonna look sick. Because most of the time, if someone's like, I want red armor, you know what I mean? It's like, well, it's gonna have to be so damn bright. But for armor like this, you just get really red on your edge highlights and stuff like that, so it's much, much easier, and it looks a lot cleaner. What else have I heard about recently? Well, I've been buying a bunch of Dark Age stuff, as some of you know, because that's what we're going to be working... Oh, that's what we'll talk about next. So I've been buying into Dark Age, stuff off eBay, whatever, because Cool Me or Not killed the game, and just trying to get, you know, because it's out of production. And then the dudes over at Miniature Market were like, surprise, surprise, we bought everything they had. We're putting it on the website as fast as we can. So if you have about $70 to tuck away, that's probably if I had to... Hey Dan, how's it going? If I had to guess, if you ever want to buy some of those minis, which by the way are like some of the best looking ever, I'm gonna go grab a couple now that I've said that. They're gonna be on Miniature Market. If you tuck away about 70, you should be able to buy 1 to 2 unit boxes and a faction starter set. Boom, and you're done. Or if you have like $100, you'll be able to do 2 armies. If I had to guess, there's no way to tell what kind of discount we're gonna get. Usually the army boxes are like $40, so. I'm sure this is going to be really difficult to show off on camera for the ones that are not primed. Oh boy, look at that. Josh is so fat he causes earthquakes. Oh, got him. All right. What do I have here to show off to you, boys and girls? Oh, I grabbed the wrong mini. Oh, who cares? All right, so let's check out some miniatures here. So these are all from Dark Age. I have 5 different armies that I've bought into. So here's a nice sculpt for you. You can see that really cool gun she's got, the sword. I love this miniature. I mean, look at how subtle and well sculpted the face is. Hold on, you know what? Your boy knows how to use a camera like a pro, so let's pretend like it. There you go. Now we can see details, guys. So here's this chick. She is a commander from the Forsaken Prevailers. You can see me using some UV glue, bang bang, to fill a gap there. Really, really sweet sculpt. Just a good example. This is another miniature from the Prevailers faction. You can see this is a cherub. Wait, did that break off? No, okay, this was... Alright, that was like it. I mean, it's obviously broken off, but... These have only been assembled. They haven't really been cleaned. For really, really high detail miniatures, I like to actually assemble them. More UV glue back there in the back. You can see it, fill in that area. What I like to do is assemble them, prime them black, because you'll see via edge, like any mold line you may have missed. And then I clean that off and do another primer coat of a Zenithal highlight or something. But anyway, and this guy's little. If we compare him to the woman, right, you can see he's a little boy. So then, compared to our little boy, we're starting to get bigger. So this is army number 5 or whatever. So this is the Dragiri Firecast. They all are pretty much like giant predators. Like, just imagine the movie Predator, but just like big, apey alien dudes with swords and bombs. He's holding like a little grenade right there. These have been primed black, and I've been messing with basing textures and stuff. So you can see this base right here. This big rock. See that nice, realistically chunky rock? Actually, let me blow your minds real quick with a little wash action here. Look at the texture on the stone. So, in case you were ever wondering, how can I make like an at-scale texture for bases? I've been messing with a new basing recipe, which is 100% DIY, and you can use it to build up bases. This rock was made literally from the same mix as the rest of the base. It was just let to dry a little bit, and then I shoved it on there. But you can see this is even better than sand. It's more realistic. It's a much finer grain. But so that's what I've been using for all of my basing. Dark Age miniatures, unfortunately, oh, you can see right here, unfortunately they come with the well bases, so they need to be filled. So I actually will leave them on the sprue, attach the sprue like crazy with super glue and Instaset, and then I fill the rest of the base with my basing mix, and it will hold it in place. You can see it right here. So this dude right here is another big boy. You can see he's got a giant like chainsaw club ready to slap somebody into next morning. Of course, I get the tip of that brush on his helmet. Hold on, sorry. We got a lot of moving parts. There we go. But, so, a good example, right? So here's this guy versus a normal human. So that's kind of fun. Oh, and then like a Dragiri. So this is just a normal, regular-sized Dragiri. Like, they're all the same size. You can see they're really big. And then I was working on this guy. I started working on him at the painting workshop. And you can see just how far I've gotten. I have to say, to be honest with you, I think he's looking pretty good. Yeah, Peter, just message me directly on my, just message me, and I'll tell you exactly what's going on. But hopefully you can tell, I've been really pushing non-metallic metal and color shifting. I mean, just look at the face. Shout out to that one dude in the comment section that was like talking trash to me, saying that I'm a very simplistic painter that doesn't do intricate paint jobs. Oh my god, I have literally almost been kicked off of so many pages the last few days because I just go on there and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, did you say something? I'm here to fight. But yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying these. So one thing I was going to discuss was sort of the theme of the streams moving forward. You can see all the base color work that I did before I start doing the non-metallic metal. So if you're wondering how I get those hues, I start with really pastel work like that, and then I just start sharpening it out wherever I want it to go. So, but that being said, the stuff that you're going to be seeing me working on from now on stream is all going to be the highest level stuff that I can paint for the most part, like personal projects, and only stuff I'm genuinely interested in. A lot of this had to do with, you know, spending a lot of time working on these huge low-end commissions where they're all low quality. And I have no reason to do those jobs anymore. I took them off the website. I don't book that low-quality stuff anymore. So now we're only going to be doing really nice, high-quality work and only stuff that I enjoy. And then, of course, if a company hires me to, do box art or whatever, then I'll do that for them as well, as usual. But, so you're going to be seeing a lot of Dark Age. You're going to be seeing Cav stuff. You're going to be seeing Wild West Exodus stuff. And then just off and on commissions that I'm intrigued in, right? I have a Harry Potter miniature game that's all going to be Wheeler level. I have a lot of really good stuff that's headed down the pipeline. So, but that is it. So now we're going to keep rocking. But I'm super pumped about all this Dark Age stuff. Tomorrow I have like a box with so much Dark Age stuff coming in it. I'm super excited. So that's why I want to at least finish this guy up throughout the evening tonight. And then that way I can enjoy myself tomorrow when all the new toys arrive, quote unquote. So, keep forgetting all my lights are moving on me. Here we go. Gosh, this light setup is a problem. Big problem. Okay. Now then, the paint job that you saw on that crazy big Mayan looking guy, that is also the direction I'm moving in general for coloring and non-metallic metal. Like, I want to be working with as many colors as possible in all of my work in the future. So I want this crazy level of contrast and color shift and all that. Commission-wise, that it extends timing a little bit on some things, but you'll see here in the future, if you are a client, the pricing page does say I no longer accept tabletop or heroic level commissions, but the new pricing is not in effect. So once the new pricing is there, it'll make a little bit more sense as to sort of how I'm trying to move my work in a certain direction. But this light needs to get away from my eyeball. Thank you. So the trick with this armor as well is going to be that I have to be very, very subtle, 90% of the painting. So we're just going to transition up to a nice dull red relatively slowly. And then that way I can do much sharper red edge work. And then that way it'll be like, okay, so this is red armor. It's just really old and decrepit. I'll probably weather it as well. I'm not sure what color right now would really do it, but that's relatively easy to figure out as I'm doing it. So, okay. Pretty happy with this. So yeah, we talked about the ReaperCon stuff. We talked about the the Wild West Exodus stuff. We talked about the Cav stuff. We talked about the Dark Age stuff. We talked about, I don't know what else. I know some other company I'm forgetting right now is sending me something potentially, but I forget who they are, so I don't really care. Oh, there was an update. So there was an actual update from the Confrontation people, but I think it's because they're getting sued. But they did an official announcement on the Kickstarter, and they're like, hey, we have potential production for the resin minis, and it's like months from now, but it's only for people that only bought the resin, so I don't think they're gonna send me anything because I'm supposed to be getting everything else, which is God knows when, so who knows?
It doesn't matter. Because what happens
I would appreciate them sending me the resin options first, so I actually have something to show off and paint, or to throw on eBay to make money off those idiots. But all right, so now I'm going to be doing relatively quick, but sketching in the non-metallic metal. And you have to remember, whenever I'm working like that, I'm not taking the tip of the brush off the miniature. I'm literally leaving it on the mini the whole time I'm moving it. And I know that doesn't sound like that's what I'm doing, but that's literally what I'm doing. It sounds counterintuitive to leave the tip of your brush on a mini like that and move it around, but that's 100% how I paint. It is so helpful with so many things. Oh, I guess that's so funny. I just thought about that. So if you guys need glasses, I would recommend, if you have a prescription, to use Coastal.com because they're so cheap. So I got those new glasses, right? I've been wearing these, but then I have this pair as well. This pair is cool, but I woke up one morning, like a couple of days after I bought them, and there's a huge scratch. And I was like, what did I do in my sleep? Holy crap, right? But Coastal always runs sales, so they're running a sale right now where it's buy one get one free with whatever you want, and so I just got 2 more pairs of glasses for 25 bucks. I had like a free shipping promotion as well, but if you need glasses and you know your prescription, man, I'm telling you. I'm not sure why I was just reminded of that, but I was just sitting here and thought, oh yeah, I have glasses coming. And I know glasses can be very expensive for some people, so definitely think about that if you are a glasses wearer. Okay, so I'm liking how subtle that highlight is so far. So I'm just gonna keep moving around the mini. I want to continue to highlight it up, but I'm going to be smart about it and do an edge highlight test relatively soon here, just so that, because this could be, depending on what color I end up using, this could be like the as bright as we go on the base for the armor. So I'll do a little test whether or not I need to brighten it up further with more red, because I don't want it to get overpowered whenever we do the edges, but we'll see. I'm sure the music that we're listening to today is great for Victor if he's watching and it's super late at night. Especially if I start talking like this in the sleepy podcast voice where I'm like, hey guys, coming down on the middle of the week here. It's almost Wednesday. Almost made it through another week. The trick here as well is to make sure that the armor has a consistent shine to it, but just it's all dull, right? And that's sort of the game that you have to play whenever you're doing non-metallic metal like this. I'm pretty sure too that it's not as red as it is in front of me. I think you're seeing it probably washed out, maybe 5%, but all right. So now actually I am gonna add some red in. I think I'm gonna add some vermilion. Vermilion. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the neon green highlight trick on the edges. That's what it's gonna be. That sounds crazy, I'm sure, to people that don't know necessarily about that, but it's a very, very good way to do a highlight that isn't pastel-y when it comes to non-metallic metal. So if you don't want to highlight something up to white, which why would we do that on this armor? It's supposed to be old and dingy, right? That's when you would do it. You want a highlight that's a separate hue. All right, this is a perfect color that we got going on here for our bluety highlight. I like dumping vermilion into rust brown and colors like that because you can see it right here. While it's still brown, it's going to continue to punch us in that red direction. I actually am going to brighten it up a little bit more. It's more of like a dark salmon color, coral color. I mean, it looks very similar, but on my eyeballs, it's quite a bit redder. And actually, it'll probably look crazy when we apply it here. Hey, Chris, how's it going, dude? I would have streamed earlier today, but I didn't know like when the client with the scythe stuff was potentially paying, because then I have to go and take it and ship. You know, it's no idea when that is. So Covey Boyd has liked the stream. That's my buddy. That's my friend. Shout out to the 1% of my friends that actually care about my business. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not friends with that many people, so it's probably like 40%. For Covey's birthday one year, I'm pretty sure, showed up at his house with a bunch of paints and some Wrath of Kings minis, and I was like, hey dude, we're gonna paint. Happy birthday, this is some stuff. That was fun. So, we're doing good here. I like this color. This is actually a pretty good pose for a Hero Forge mini as well. Now, I don't know if you guys sort of follow Hero Forge, but I did get that email from them that's like, yo, we got the awesome posing now, which I will say is awesome, because if I can make a dynamic sculpt, that's what I want it to be. Why are these people messaging? Oh, Covey's in chat. Okay, we're back. Oh yeah, dynamic poses. So yeah, I really appreciate their new dynamic pose thing, because if I can design whatever I want, I'm gonna make it look crazy. But this is a good pose because it allows us to see an opening in the miniature, which most people that do Hero Forge minis, they're like holding onto their weapons real close, so you lose literally all of the armor you picked, right? Like not that I'm pose shaming right now, which I am, but what I'm trying to say is, sometimes people will send me these miniatures and they're in like an action pose or whatever, which is fine, but it means that I literally am sort of forced to paint it a certain way because of the pose that it's in. I'm a big fan of big open poses, right? Like obviously, hello, huge open pose on this guy, huge open pose on this guy, right? Like I like open miniatures. Even though this chick is not open, right? Because she has the... Oh, Will's watching now. Konnichiwa! Ohayo gozaimasu! Oh, if they could get more hair. It's true. But you know what? When you got friends like me, or no, that's not what I'm trying to say. If you have friends like I do, like being friends with Mark at Frizz Ninja or whatever, I'm sure I could, if I had to in a pinch, just beg and scream for a mini, like a custom sculpt. Even though I send Mark ideas constantly. I'll be like, a hamster and a hamster wheel, but it's a knoll on a hillside with villagers instead of the water bottle drip, and instead of the water bottle dripping, it's a spell. And he's like, yeah, I'm on it. I'll write that on my list. No, it's funny. Usually if I have a sculpt idea, I'll draw something and just send it over. Hey boy, big hair. Do I have big hair right now? It's not big. It's getting big. I'm hoping to have a man bun by ReaperCon so that I can dye it bright pink. I'm gonna dye my hair with some Thousand Island dressing. I'll let somebody in the chat finish the rest of that. That's hilarious. Loving the way this armor's rendering out though. Oh, the mini has big hair. Yeah, I got you, dude. Look, this chick looks like Carrot Top before the roids and props. So like if Carrot Top decided that he wanted to go on post-apocalyptic puritanical crusades, this is what he would have looked like. Boobs and all. But I should actually paint her looking like Carrot Top and then tag Carrot Top on Instagram because I know he'll look. He was on a podcast one time I watched and he was like, oh, I hate Instagram because every morning when I wake up, I search people on my mentions and I search the hashtag with my name on it. And I'm like, oh, well, that's good to know because I can just literally drop a meme and he's gonna see it. Even though I've watched so many podcasts that it's intriguing to see that celebrities really do, like, if you're following a celebrity on Instagram, like, they for real read comments, they for real look at mentions, like, they, depending on the person, they probably don't get involved, you know what I mean? But the majority of them are looking. They're looking, they're reading, they're, like, hating their lives, like, it's not healthy. If I was a celebrity, I would probably be like 50 Cent on Instagram. So like, I would literally just, if anyone said anything mean, I would just literally reply to them in just the snarkiest way possible. I already do that right now. I don't know if anybody watches it. Well, I think you have to have liked the video. There are a couple of videos on YouTube of like streams from like 2 years ago where people have left like random nasty comments, and I would I straight up just like cuss at them back or what. I'm just like, hey, how about you leave and never come back? One of the earliest weird comments I ever got on YouTube, somebody was like, okay painting, comma, but I hate the music, can't watch. And I'm like, okay, you won't be missed, bye. Bye. Like, you forget I'm not like some corporation. Like, I will literally reply to you and just be mean. Sorry. Alright, so I'm happy with this highlight layer. I think this is literally the perfect direction to go currently, pushing towards red. That way I'm going to be able to do red edges for real. And they're going to look great. So we still need to work on our helmet a little bit here. Okay, and then we gotta work on our little cool, Chinese-shaped pauldron. I believe this is like, anytime I see a pauldron like that, it reminds me of like ancient Chinese pauldron. I've probably played too many Dynasty Warrior video games. I don't know if I'm being culturally insensitive. It's not my intent. Shout out to China getting the 25% tariff on all board games and hobbies and all that now. That's gonna really destroy the industry. So cool beans. Thank you for that one. I feel bad for all of the small Kickstarter people now who so if it actually gets passed, which it probably will, I hope it doesn't, but or enacted, I guess. But anyway, I was more upset for all the independent small Kickstarter creators who aren't going to be able to fulfill now, because remember, right, like if you're so like imagine if I made a Kickstarter, right, and I got everyone's money, so now I have everyone's money, I'm not getting any more money, and this tariff gets enacted by Trump, and the factory in China goes, sorry dude, we need 30% more money now to cover this tariff and the added cost on our end. And I'm like, but I can't get more money. Well, oh well. So it'll be interesting to see how many people get screwed. I'm sure Cool Mini or Not is pissed right now because they're literally a Chinese-owned company. And every Kickstarter they make is heavy with miniatures and da-da-da-da. So I'm sure they're just like, oh my god. Now their Kickstarters are gonna be like 500 each, no other option. But yeah, oh well, very, very sad for the people whose lives are about to be destroyed off of that. That's definitely very, very shitty. So for those of you that love Chinese recasters, make sure you R.I.P. Reaper Bones. It's all, they already got the Kickstarter in. And remember, they do all of their metal minis in-house anyway, so I mean, they could just spend the next 6 months while this tariff is real. Because it's not gonna last, that's the thing. Like, that tariff would destroy the US economy. Because like, what Trump is banking on is that this pressures China into backing down from production, right? And then whatever else he's mad about. So whether it's currency manipulation, whatever, yada yada yada, his own ego, yada yada yada. But, so China's not gonna back down because literally they have the infrastructure built to withstand that, right? Like, they're not gonna get affected, it's us. So it's not gonna be permanent, but I'm sure Reaper can just chill out and just be like, hi, we're only going to be producing metal minis for the next 6 months exclusively. Sorry, guys. So they'll be okay. And remember, too, they can launch their Bones 5 Kickstarter because the production doesn't start on that for a while. So, I mean, they're cool if they're going to do another Big Bones Kickstarter. Now, getting the new Bones back and stocking them on the web store is probably going to be an issue. Unfortunately, unless they're already here or on the way. Or I guess it's the 17th, so it's June 17th. So everyone on the planet has until June 17th to make arrangements for their impending doom. But alright, so the armor I am good with currently right here. It is at the stage now to where I would do a test on some of the edges with a red. The red itself is probably going to be more orange because we're going to be going in a green, more of a green hue in terms of some of the, like, well, obviously the cape. And then I'm not decided yet what type of rust would make sense. If there's going to be rust, I may go with like scorch marks or something, but again, scorch marks would just darken it all, and it's already going to be darker armor. So really the challenge here is just going to be making this red armor look as realistic as possible if it's dingy, adding a bunch of scratches, things like that, right? It's battle worn, making sure that our shields and everything are also pretty dingy. You can see I was pre-sketching and texturing on there, and then on the axe we just have the like glaze coat on top of the Zenny. So But if I had to guess, I probably have another 3 hours left on this miniature. I'll either finish it up tonight or first thing in the morning, but you're going to see finished images of this within the next day or so. So anyway, that'll be it for today. I'm glad I'm back. Schedule's freed up a bit at least, so you'll be seeing me back on our regularly scheduled times, days, and everything like that. So, but that is it for today. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you all next time.